what do you have from the marketing side of the house? Let's pretend the salespeople did their follow-up.
Yeah, so I like to think about the post-event outreach in layers. One is I call it air cover. Marketing will always send a so glad you stopped by the booth. Thanks for coming. Here's and sometimes they can, if you've taken pictures, they can even include a picture of the booth and the team as sort of as a reminder of like, oh, I remember those guys, or oh, I remember whatever. So marketing will should handle the thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
And then they should also handle setting up the different nurture streams. So if there are people that maybe sales didn't book a demo with on the spot, right? So, and actually I should save this for a separate rant. I don't really like long demos in the booth. I like give me a quick teaser and then let's schedule.
Yeah, no,
I'll give you 30
100%.
seconds and give me 30 minutes next week. For the people who maybe sales couldn't get to committing to a meeting in the week following, or they weren't quite ready. We should think of them as like putting them in buckets. So there are people who should nurture, and marketing should work with product marketing and sales on like, hey, here's kind of the story that we want to continue. We'll invite them to the post-event event. Like we've got those handled. For conversations that sales had face to face, I feel like it's absolutely sales responsibility to follow up. If you spend 5 minutes with someone and you exchange small talk and you didn't pull out your phone and say, hey, let's book a meeting, chase them down.
You got a business card.
Right. Just you follow up.
Apparently people still use business cards.
Yes, some do. And then the other is, there are a bunch of them, but for customers, make sure customer success knows who you saw. So either that's through your Slack channels, because everyone usually has that on their phone, or Teams, whatever you're using for chat, or your CRM. Just make sure that you close the loop there, because you want to preserve that relationship and sort of keep it moving. Bonus if you can send a picture. That's even more delightful. To be like, hey, I met with so-and-so, here's the selfie.
Send it to the person back in the office.
Yes, it makes for good coordination. And then for other opportunities that tend to come up during shows, especially at your industry Super Bowl, potential partner alliances, potential companies that you met where it's like, oh, if we did an integration, if your product people aren't there, do those personal warm connections, alert them in Slack or Teams or email or whatever, the moment that you had it, give them as much context as possible. And then make sure that those don't slip through the cracks either. If you've held a special event at the event, if you have someone who maybe spoke or you held a dinner, that's a separate, very personalized follow-up message who should come from the host. So the speaker, hey, thanks for coming to my talk. And then whoever's in the room with the speaker should be taking note on who asked the question. Make sure those things connect. Make sure you can coordinate either with your CEO or whoever was speaking, or you do it yourself. But just make sure that after every personal interaction, you have a game plan for the next step, whether you're taking it or you're delegating it to someone else who's better suited to do it. Nobody slips through the cracks. If we have looked each other in the eye in real life, I want to know that I can hand you off to a real person, or that I can call you and we can continue our friendship on Zoom or whatever the week following.